Okay, welcome back to your 3 YouTube channel. Okay, this is an extension to the last video. This will be the assembly of the KR-400 and the KR-500 via my mounting brackets, and then I'll get the controller out and I'll show it all working. And just want to show you this one, the assembly part of it. So I'm going to do this in several sections and get things happening, and then I'll be back shortly. Okay, I have the 2 L brackets on. Now the positioning of these is quite critical because you want the 0 to be the same direction as your north point on your rotator. So I've got the north point or the 0 point here, so we're in the 0 point. That's where you're facing and you're tracking your north position, or you're tracking your position in this section. So I'm going to try and work around the camera, so if I can. Now I've already marked on here 0 and 180. This references to the controls of the actual controller. So we're going to face this way. I'm going to drop him down into here and put some bolts in. Try to around the camera. Get this all put together loosely. I'll get my fingers to work here, I'll be right. Yeah. There's bolts. Got some crap on it. Maybe some of the glue went into the snap. Maybe some of the glue from the actual... there we go. Maybe some of the glue had gone into the thread that I put onto those washers. So we turn them around before we get too tight. Get this back into here. Come on, bolts, start. I think these bolts have been cut down. Oh yeah, these, dodgy bolts. These are the ones that I think someone's actually cut down these. Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, take 2. Yes, the bolts were cut down. I didn't do it. These are just ones I found with all the stuff, and they've been cut down. You see the grooves in this. They just hadn't been rounded off at the top and cleaned, so I've done that. So basically we can now move forward. Like that. Now they're going in. Jeez. That'll be about right. It's okay. That's all in there. Let's see this, how this bracket works. As opposed to when the A version first came out, they had a steel right angle bracket which went from the bolts on this side, these two at the top here, which you can't see, those two there, and they had a plate that went all the way down there and that way. It's like, yeah, but it was only an L bracket and it was flexible as all hell, and so I devised up these aluminium ones like this. So yeah, that's what I've done there. So we'll just snip these off. That's what I've got to do too as well. I'm going to have to, I'll be back in a second. I meant to put NECs in the threads, so I'll be back. I'll go do that first. We'll try that again. Okay, I have now put the anti-Cs and all the threads of these. So now we can actually start doing these up. You've got to do this up first before you do the bottom ones up, otherwise they won't go up properly. So nip these up, both sides. I'm going to assemble this, and this is how it's going to be shipped out all together, so the customer hasn't got to do it all. I just put the bottom brackets on, and then they'll be done. They just have to then install it. So I thought I'd get this all done, save them doing this. Not best position to be trying to do up bolts. Oh well. Reaching around the camera. Okay. Okay, alrighty. Now the fun bit, trying to get underneath there and trying to do those bolts up. Okay, here we go. Open-end spanner only. The only downside of this is where this bracket is. Very hard to get to the bolts, but you can get a quarter of a turn each time, roughly. Probably just over a quarter, actually. Maybe a quarter. You can't get the ring spanner in, so you just got to do it with the open ender. Let's get the other one. If we had it any longer in here, or had it closed in here, you wouldn't be able to get this. So the little design is working okay, I think. This isn't going to be a very big... There we go. That one's done. Do the other ones. And so it's not going to be a big system, I believe. But we still do everything as strong as we can make it. The other way, that'd be a good idea. The other way. At least this is a bit more stable than the old, a lot more stable than the old bracket. Even though the old bracket was steel, it was still just a flex at the actual right angle bit, especially at the bottom here. So they never had any gussets or anything in it. They did change that to in the later versions. Had a U section in totally steel, which went right across the top of the housing, and had a cutout where those raised pieces for the guides of the mast clamps goes. But it was made out of steel, wasn't it? So it would rust because they won't go. They'll just painted or powder coated or whatever. I never saw any galvanised ones. So even they may have, but without that, there we go. This looks quite neat and tidy. This is all out of aluminium. Okay, we've got stainless steel bolts, but I've now put anti-seize in, just like all these. I'll put anti-seize in all these bolt holes in those as well. I already pre-did those, I just forgot to do those. So okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to put these on. Oh, my new mast clamps. Okay, I think I mentioned this before. My new stainless steel folded mast clamps. These are available on my website as a replacement. They work in high gains and a couple other models, including these ones as well. So that goes on there. And I did mention before, replacement U-bolts that I've got for this as well. So I'm just going to chuck everything on here at the present moment. Just so it looks the part. Not too far. I believe the actual U-bolts are actually stainless as well, but I'm not 100% sure. They probably they're brushed, I think. I've got them out of hills, so they look matte, like as if they've been through a but they may be painted, I don't know. Oh well, here's what it is. This is what I'm supplying with this, because the clamps that come with this were totally shot. So these, had these made locally, and they sit them, and you've got nice sharp teeth in here to grab hold of the in this case the rotating bar, the elevations through boom or through mast, and the actual nuts on these things have little teeth on them. Probably can't see them. I'm trying to get the light in the right angle. I haven't got both lights on. So I'll try. They've got a rough surface, with little teeth on them, so basically they should bind to that surface really well. So put that into there. And now a car starting up behind me. I'll hold my unit. So there we go. So that's all in. We shall go away, and this car's about to start up. So I'm going to go and get all the control and everything ready, and to make sure it's going to all show you it all working. I'll be back. Okay, whoops, I need to go further back. Jeez. Bloody hell. Take back a bit further. Get back there. Set the controller back a bit. I was just a little bit too close. Let's take it over here a bit further. Okay, we've set him up, and just to give it a bit of a run through. So I just thought I'd give this a bit of a go for you. Rightio, power on. All the needles are sitting basically, it's sitting virtually straight up in the air, so arrows will be facing straight up. So I'm just going to go to the down, just show it working, and just at the same time we'll do a rotation the other way, to the left. We'll stop down there, we'll put this thing go around. Limit switches will take over in both of these since they've both got limit switches. There we go. Alright, we'll do the same the other way. Put this cable over the road. Easy way of going, both at once. There we are, vertical and back to north, just past that. The elevation rotator is geared down a lot more, so it goes a lot slower for the half rotation. There we go. At the limit for the azimuth, the elevation is just about there. And limit switches will take over. There we go. Which is good. Normally it would go and it'd be like they both would do that. I mean, at least they've got limit switches now, so we go back the other way. Just caught my sign back there. I wonder what the noise was. There's some mask tanks there. It's a funny noise. There we go. I'm moving back to north. Move that one up north. Bring this back to vertical. And we are done. There we go. It is all up and running. So all the customer now has to do is mount the bottom mask clamps to the bottom of the rotator and sticking on his pole, put the pole through the guts of it, mount his aerials, and presto. I think that's about all we need to do with this KR-5400D. I'm going to put my label on here as well on the actual bracket to note that it's a 5400B, D I should say, not B, D. So yeah, and I even relabeled the actual back of the controller too as well to it with a D on it. You can see it there. D for I did all the modifications, so it's a D version, Duro Services version. So there we go. So and all the upgrades we did for Duro, whatever. We'll just leave it there. We shall catch you in the next project. Bye.